Story 1. The Haunting Echoes. In a small, isolated town nestled between the mountains, a legend whispered among the locals. They spoke of an abandoned mansion, said to be cursed by a vengeful spirit. Many tried to brave its eerie halls, but none returned. Mark, a skeptical journalist, saw this as an opportunity for a thrilling article. As Mark approached the mansion, the air grew thick with dread. The wooden floors creaked under his weight, and shadows danced in the corners of his vision. He noticed strange symbols etched into the walls, emanating an unsettling aura. Ignoring the uneasy feeling, Mark pressed on, determined to uncover the truth. Suddenly he heard whispers from the darkness, a haunting echo of past torment. The voice seemed to know his deepest fears, making him question his sanity. As he ventured deeper, the voices intensified, recounting his darkest secrets. Fear gnawed at his mind, and he began to doubt everything he knew. Time lost its meaning, and Mark found himself trapped in a nightmarish loop, reliving the mansion's horrors repeatedly. Each iteration pushed him closer to the brink of madness. The psychological torment escalated as the mansion toyed with his perception of reality. Mark struggled to discern between illusion and truth. In a heart-pounding climax, he encountered the spirit responsible for the mansion's malevolence. The vengeful entity fed off Mark's fear, growing stronger with each terrified breath. It took the form of his deepest childhood trauma, amplifying the psychological pressure on him. As the spirit closed in, Mark realized that escaping this ordeal required facing his own inner demons. With a surge of courage, he confronted the spirit, acknowledging his past and accepting his vulnerabilities. In a blinding flash of light, the mansion crumbled into dust, and the spirit's hold on Mark shattered. Though he survived physically, Mark was forever changed by the experience. He understood the power of his mind and the strength needed to confront the darkness within. The haunting echoes of the mansion lingered, a reminder of the thin line between reality and terror. Story 2. The Mind's Abyss. In a remote research facility, Dr. Emma Harper delved into the mysteries of the human mind. She stumbled upon a dangerous experiment involving a device that could unlock the deepest recesses of the brain, revealing the darkest secrets hidden within. Despite warnings from her colleagues, Emma was drawn to the device's potential. Curiosity overpowered caution, and she decided to test it on herself. Strapped to the machine, she felt a surge of terror as it activated. Suddenly, she found herself in an ethereal realm, the manifestation of her own subconscious. Within the mind's abyss, Emma confronted her repressed traumas and fears. Her psyche twisted into nightmarish scenarios that felt disturbingly real. The boundaries between reality and her mind's creation blurred, pushing her sanity to the edge. As Emma navigated her inner labyrinth, she encountered fragments of her past, each holding a clue to her present struggles. She realized that the device's power was not just unlocking hidden fears, but it was also merging her memories with an ancient, malevolent entity, an entity that thrived on tormenting human souls. Haunted by apparitions of loved ones, twisted into monstrous forms, Emma was psychologically tormented by her own subconscious and the malevolent force entwined with it. She struggled to differentiate between her genuine memories and the ones tainted by the entity's influence. In a desperate bid to escape, Emma had to confront her deepest regret, one she had buried for years. The malevolent entity used this as a weapon, amplifying her guilt and self-loathing. The boundary between herself and the entity dissolved further, leaving her uncertain of her identity. As the experiment's side effects seeped into reality, the facility itself became a nightmarish reflection of Emma's tormented mind. She raced against time to sever the connection between the entity and her subconscious, but the malevolence was relentless. In a climactic confrontation, Emma embraced her past mistakes and forgave herself. The entity's grip weakened, and she regained control of her mind. With the device destroyed, the malevolent force dissipated, leaving Emma physically and mentally drained, but free from the shadows within. Story 3. The Whispering Woods. Deep in the heart of a dense forest stood a village haunted by an ancient curse. Locals spoke of malevolent spirits that whispered dreadful prophecies to anyone who dared venture into the woods.
David, a thrill-seeking traveler, scoffed at such tales and embarked on a solo expedition into the forbidden forest. As David delved deeper, the forest closed in around him. The silence was deafening, broken only by faint, ominous whispers carried by the wind. Shadows danced menacingly between the trees, and the atmosphere seemed to feed on his growing fear. With every step, the whispers grew louder, manifesting into voices from his past. A deceased friend, a betrayed lover, and a forgotten mentor. The voices blamed him for their tragic fates, accusing him of being a harbinger of doom. David's psychological state deteriorated as guilt and regret gnawed at his soul. Unable to distinguish reality from illusion, David became lost in the labyrinth of the whispering woods. The malevolent spirits delighted in his confusion, leading him further into their clutches. Every direction he took seemed to loop back to where he started, a cruel maze of torment. Desperate for escape, David realized that the key to breaking the curse lay within his mind. He had to confront his own inner demons and make peace with the ghosts of his past. But the spirits were relentless, taunting him at every turn. In the heart of the forest, David faced a nightmarish apparition of himself, an embodiment of his darkest fears and insecurities. The doppelganger goaded him to surrender to the curse, but David mustered the strength to resist. Summoning the memory of a loved one, he clung to hope and found the courage to confront the spirits. With a deafening roar, the forest shook, and the malevolent entities dissipated into the air. The whispers ceased, and David emerged from the woods, forever changed by the psychological battle he had fought. In the aftermath, the whispering woods stood silent once more, and the curse lifted. David carried the weight of the experience back with him, knowing that the true horror was not just the malevolent spirits, but the darkness that resided within every human soul.